In each of those years, they did not play Ohio State. So you could say the Big Ten championship, in a way, has to come through Ohio State. Northwestern would try to get through them on this particular evening. Not going to do it, spread offense or otherwise, against the Bucks.
Well, that's right, and you still can't count Northwestern out. You know, they're gonna keep going. They're a good football team, but tonight was Ohio State's night.
Driver's seat certainly up for grabs in the Big Ten, and the Buckeyes took full advantage of it, coming out to a capacity crowd of over 104,000 at the Horseshoe under the lights. You can't find a better atmosphere. National TV, and Jonathan Wells starts it off.
Well, he sure did, and those first two runs he made, there's the first one you just saw, and then that second one that you'll see here. Great blocking up front, just good physical play, and he took it and went, and what confidence that gave our offense, and they were teasing him. He's the power back, but he showed he could stretch it out a little bit.
Jonathan Wells goes, well, he had just enough to get those 71 or 72 yards right into the end zone for the touchdown. Bucks out early. Best way to take a crowd out of the game when you're on the road worked in your favor by getting the crowd jacked up.
Well, that's right, and then the defense came right out there. Mike Collins making that big play, and look at him. He's excited. He can feel all those folks up there cheering for us.
Force a fourth down play and nearly get the blocked punt, but this one's going to come back.
Well, we thought we had a hand on that one, but we didn't get there, and that's some of the risk it takes when you go after punts, and so we gave them the ball back, and unfortunately, they're a good football team, and they took advantage of that field position and moved it down in.
Zach Kusnak running the show. He'll give to Damian Anderson on the handoff.
You know, they got around our end there, and we lost a little bit of contain, and that old Damian Anderson can run fast, and here you'll see him get into the end zone, and he's a fine running back.
Anderson in, and we're even up at 7 apiece. We've got a ball game early on here, Coach.
Well, we really do, and the defense came up big again, though, and after we got the ball here, we didn't move it quite as well, and they came back and made a big play for us here, but you can see on a 3rd and 1, look at the surge of our offensive line, and every time Jamar gets his hands on the ball, I smile because he's such a hard-working guy.
3rd and 6 this time, and Steve Belisari pulls down and takes it himself.
Good job, good decision. There wasn't anything open, so he stepped up and got that first down, and that's big.
3rd and 10 now. You would have rather a little different decision on this play.
Well, really the decision, he kind of peeked backside and threw this one a little bit late and a little bit inside, and you know, we just can't we can't have turnovers like that, but he came back and had a real steady game even after that.
Now, the sudden change defense is what you talk about in this situation.
Well, this is huge. After they got the turnover, here we come. Will Smith causing the fumble. Michael Doss kind of dribbling it a little bit and picking it up, and he's got his envoy going down there, and I tell you what, it's a heck of a big turn of events for the Buckeyes.
Absolutely. Scoops up, takes it in for the touchdown. Buckeyes go up 14-7 at that point. Maybe a little change in momentum there as the Bucks pretty much shut down Northwestern for the rest of the first half.
Well, we really did. I think we got a feel for it after that, and again, we got our confidence, and look at us coming up and getting after their running back. They took Damian Anderson out after that fumble and came in with their second guy who was a good player as well. But our people did a good job. Our crowd did a good job confusing them a little bit with their communication, and we just kept playing hard.
Anderson doesn't put it on the ground much at all, and this time the crowd maybe crossed him up there. Derek Ross gets his first pick of the season.
Well, I tell you what, old Derek can do something with the ball after he gets it, and he was close to taking it clear to the house. Unfortunately, kind of a strange turn of events there. They called a personal foul on us, and really it was just the opposite. I don't know if officials got confused or whatever, but you know, we did a good job, good effort there with Sammy Maldonado, and Sammy now playing a little bit of a dual role of both fullback and tailback, and I think that's a good role for him. And unfortunately, we didn't nail the field goal, and you need to come up with the points after you get the turnovers like Derek's interception, and that was disappointing.
Not all the way down to the red zone. Last week at Indiana, every red zone trip resulted in points. This time not quite close enough, but once again the defense.
Cortland Bullard there getting after him, and I'll tell you what, our guys played so hard and so fast on defense.
Back up top goes Steve Belisari, and this was a big play. His first completion of the day, and for big yardage.
Well, that was a big play. They were trying to play man-to-man on Michael Jenkins, and I have a lot of confidence in Michael, and he came up with the play.
41 yards on that, and then this is the most athletic play of Steve all night.
Well, that was good to see. We had a little bit of a mix-up there, and I think Jonathan thought he was getting in there, and he tripped over our own guy and got the ball there on the 1-yard line, and were able to move it in there.
Saw the scoreboard light up a little early, but he gets it here.
I tell you what, this was a newly conceived goal line play that Jim Bowman put in, and I tell you what, our kids really ran that well. It was good to see. Northwestern had kept Michigan State and UNLV out from inside the 2 3 or 4 times, and they were a good goal line defense, and Jim and his group on offense came up with a good little scheme, and it was nice to see us get right in there on
the running game, straight up the gut. Somebody's seen something there.
Well, one thing Northwestern does a lot of is stunning, and Jim Bowman did a great job with his offensive line of having them patient, kind of wait and see where everything is going, and then just get a good push on it. And they were stunning away from the middle a little bit because we'd run off tackle so much, and I thought we took good advantage of it.
Northwestern had a huge win last week in the final seconds, a very dramatic victory. As a coach, there are some things that are inherent to getting a team ready for the next week after that. A little bit tougher across the field, I guess, but if they needed a wake-up call, they've gotten it in the first half.
Well, there's no question, and you know, they hadn't played Ohio State since '98, so some of those kids on that field had never lined up against the Buckeyes, and the Buckeyes showed them real quickly in the first half.
What Buckeye football is all about, and there's a guy, number 22, Les Horvath, goes up in the ring of the horseshoe. Nicely done there. A guy who won the Heisman Trophy in 1944 and 1942 national championship team he's a member of.
Well, I'm proud to say my dad, and he scored the touchdowns in the spring game in 1943. How about that?
That's right. That's great stuff. Spring game was all he was allowed to play that year because of the war. And as we get started in the second half, it's a steady dose of these running backs. Jonathan Wells, and again, it's Lydell Ross into the end zone.
That was a good-looking run. I'll tell you what, Lydell didn't get that many carries tonight, but he took advantage of that one. He was excited.
In for the Bucks in a 28-7 lead, and as you said, come out strong offensively, and the Buckeyes did it more Wells.
Well, one thing that the offensive staff did coming in the second half is they did a lot more misdirection and counter along with the straight-up Adam power run, and I thought they mixed it up real well.
Wells again, this time down to field level, play action fake, and Belisari up deep again.
Well, this was a big play because they've been crowding a lot of people up near the box, just trying to figure out some way to stop us running, and Michael Jenkins came up with a big play. Great throw by Steve Belisari. 45
yards sets up this 6-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Wells, out and around and into the end zone.
I'll tell you what, the offensive line did a great job of reach blocking there, and Jonathan got in, and that felt good.
35-7, fans plenty to cheer about, really sitting back in their seats a little bit, up 35-7.
Well, here comes a blitz from the back there. Will Allen coming along, and Will's coming along real well, and it's good to see him. He's our nickel man, so he got in quite a bit of playing tonight.
Northwestern again trying to get something going on offense, but the defense of the Buckeyes right there.
Cortland Bullard, Derek Ross, both those guys can run.
Back to offense for the Bucks, and Sammy Maldonado getting his carries in the second half.
Well, again, a good push by the offensive line. Charles Bentley, when you can run that ice play, it's because your center's pretty good, and your fullback, Jamar Martin, you saw him clear him out there, and Sammy gets carried 2 in a row.
Just a step or a broken tackle away from breaking some of those.
I'll tell you what, he's a hard-working guy, and it was good to see us hit a good long field goal here. We knocked about a 44 or 45-yarder through the uprights, and you know, we need to become a better field goal kicking team.
Freshman Mike Nugent off the foot and through the uprights. 38-7. Ohio State has backing from everywhere. That's the way the score was in the third quarter. We go to the fourth, and immediately taken down by Cortland Bullard.
Well, great pressure there by Donnie Nicky on him, and Cortland then got him. Tim Cheatwood was out there, and Joe Cooper, and I'll tell you what, our guys really did a great job pursuing.
Zach Kustok, pretty dangerous in quarterback position. Triple threat.
He can run it, he can run it, he can throw it, and he's a good quarterback.
Gets the first down for the Wildcats on that play. A 3rd and 5 situation. Pick up a key first down for the visitors.
Well, they had good protection there, and when you get good protection, you can throw the ball, and Zach put it right in there. Here they came up with the quarterback counter play, and you know, they moved it down the field, and to their credit, got in the end zone.
Helmets flying off. You see, this is a hard-hitting football game.
No question there. Jonathan Wells hitting hard up the middle there again with Adrian Clark and Alex Stepanovich leading the way there again. You see Sammy Maldonado pounding away at it, and we did run physically, and that was good to see.
38-13 the count at that point as the Buckeyes run it out. Kustok. Actually, this is the backup in at this point. Staus.
I think we banged Kustok quite a bit, and their Staus was in there. It was a great job kind of sealing the victory with that sack by Michael Doss.
Mike Doss